Hey everyone, this is my video review of the Smatree GoPro Hero 4, 3 Plus, and Hero 3 battery backpack. I personally have a GoPro Hero 4 Silver, so you're going to get an idea of how this works with this particular GoPro model. I received everything in a small white box, so wasn't a whole lot in the way of packaging, but that's fine, wasn't a problem for me. The only thing I felt that was missing was an instruction manual. There were some questions that I had initially, but once I started using it, it seemed pretty straightforward, and I think I have everything figured out. It's not a complicated product, but I think I would have preferred to see some sort of manual so I don't mess something up. Included in the box are the battery itself in this gray protective tray, and I assume that that is to protect the connections on the back for the GoPro so that it doesn't get damaged or broken when you're not using the battery. It also came with two extended back doors for the GoPro clear housing. This back door is waterproof. It has the button on the side so you can access the battery level indicator. And this back door is more of the skeleton style. You have access to the charging ports on the left side, access to the battery indicator button on the right hand side, and a window in the back, I assume for venting, but it may just be aesthetic. And you also get a mini USB cable, same thing that you charge your GoPro with. So same connector, nice to have an extra one around. Quality of the battery, when I first looked at it, it looks like a product that came directly from GoPro. Very, very well built, doesn't feel cheap at all. It's just an extremely well made product. It has this really nice grippy texture to it, and I think that with the added size and that texture, it makes the camera even easier to hold on to. So no questions about the quality. Really happy with it. Smatree has always been great with their products. So to put this on the camera, you take that tray off and immediately you see the 30-pin connector on the back and a plastic latch so you can connect it to the camera. So to connect it, you take your camera, there's a cutout on the side here, match that plastic hook and latch there, and the connector just kind of pops in, and it's nice and sturdy, doesn't feel like it's going to pop out unexpectedly, and that's all there is to it. On the battery itself, the left hand side you have the charging port, the right hand side is the battery level indicator button, and when you hit this button there are 4 LEDs on the back that light up to show the amount of battery remaining on the unit. There's also a red light that lights up when it's charging to let you know if your battery is ready to go or not. So the first thing I discovered when I started charging it was that it seems to also charge the internal GoPro battery, which I really like. So I only have to have one connection to the camera with USB power to charge both batteries, which I think is a really cool feature. Now, the first thing that you notice, you sacrifice immediately the LCD screen if you have a GoPro unit with the rear LCD screen. For me, I'm pretty dependent on framing my shots with that rear LCD. So if you're going to use the battery backpack, you really got to be prepared for that. I've resorted to using the app on my smartphone to frame all my shots, and I may have to just get used to framing my shots without anything. Just try to figure out the field of view for my camera and figure out how to do it just on the fly. So on my initial test, I turned it on to 4K resolution at 15 frames per second, the highest that my camera will go. And I tracked about 5 hours and 15 minutes of recording, which is huge. That's more than 5 times what I get out of a single internal GoPro battery. So it used to be that I was limited by my batteries to what I could record. Now the limiting factor is my SD cards. So this is huge for me. I used to carry 3 or 4 GoPro batteries around with me With this guy, I don't have to do that. I'm not going to run out of power unexpectedly. I'm going to be ready to go for probably a whole day's worth of recording. Here's my GoPro housing with the regular skeleton back door on there. To swap out the doors, it's just like you do with every other GoPro door. Pop it open, pull this back, and door pops off, and the new one, the extended battery one, pops in, just like that, and you're good to go. Put the camera in, and oops. Sorry about that. And there it is. So the waterproof housing back door looks really good. I'm not concerned about it leaking. And this, the camera is not exposed at all, just the battery, which is still pretty cool. It looks like it would be pretty protected from dust or anything like that, any situation that isn't underwater. The biggest thing that I've noticed with this extended battery is in some scenarios you are not going to be able to tilt the camera all the way back. So an example of this is the chest harness, and that would look like this. So this is the GoPro chest mount, and I found pretty quickly that I can't move the camera completely vertical. It gets stuck at this angle because of the extra width. So make sure that you are planning accordingly when using this battery backpack. I would say that it's best used when the camera is on a tripod or on a mount that has a little bit extra clearance so that you can make sure your planned shot isn't screwed up by the extra width here. So all in all, this has been really, really solid and really sturdy. I've used it once, like I said, to record about 5 hours and 15 minutes, and it was awesome. I really, really like being able to have that peace of mind knowing that I'm going to have power just about everywhere I go with this camera now. Charging time averages about 4 hours to charge this when I use a 1 amp charger. I haven't tried it on the 2.5 amp or 2.0, I'm not sure which it is, but the double power charger, I don't know how long it's going to take on that, but it did take quite a while on just a regular USB cell phone charger. So make sure that you have this thing charged and ready to go before you try to just plug it in and hope for a quick charge. But yeah, so far this is one of my favorite GoPro accessories, and I really like the way it looks. It functions beautifully, and I'm excited to have power just about everywhere I go now. So I definitely recommend that you check it out. I believe that the link to this is in the video description, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Thanks for checking this out.